Your view of the playoff loss, Greg?
Nope. Look, you guys know I say this all the time. No one cares. No one cares. If you win, I think it's like, man, that was impressive. He did that with a broken foot. You lose, we're like, well, I mean, I'm not going to feel sorry for you, because every time you put on that uniform, the expectation is that we're going to get the product that we've always gotten. That's the expectation of Josh. That's the expectation of everybody in that locker room, and that's certainly the expectation of the fans sitting in those bleachers. So, like, you can feel however you want to feel. The reality is, okay, he had the injury, but also both can be true. The reality is no one feels sorry for you. No one feels like, man, if his foot wasn't broke, we would have won.
Right.
Because did his foot cause him to throw that interception?
Exactly.
Did foot cause him to make those turnovers? Now, he talked about not having his feet in the right not underneath him and setting his feet. And if I had a playback here or there, well, yeah. Everybody says that when they lose. So
That's
look,
not
it
why I
doesn't
was
change.
running with the ball like this on that fumble.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with Greg. Look, he's a warrior. I will give him credit. Like, he is a warrior, and I know that was tough to play through that. But like Greg, once you're out there, man, nobody cares. It would have changed it had he not played. Had he not played because of a broken foot, and I'm glad he did, but had he not played because of a broken foot, all the criticism he got against him last week or whenever that was would have just been, oh man, what luck.
It would have been the Bo
Bad
Nix
luck.
conversation.
It would have been a Bo, right. You couldn't have blamed him at all. Now we blamed him for that loss, so that would have changed it. But once you're out there, man.
So I don't know that I 100% agree with you guys that once you're out there, definitively across the board, we have to treat it as if you have no injury. Like, so
Well, if we saw him visibly.
that's the point that I was going to make. Like, if he came out there and from the opening snap, we're like, man, he's not running at all. He looks nothing like Josh Allen. And then we found this out. It'd be like, oh, there's the explanation. And I watched this full game. He looked like the best and the worst of Josh Allen in that game. He had some amazing moments. He ran the ball a ton. He had some great throws. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I know how much that foot did or didn't affect him. Just from as a viewer, at no point was there a single one of his 4 turnovers that, to me, logically, it's like, oh, if the fifth metatarsal wasn't broken, I think that's different. Like, it was a fumble on a.
Okay.
All right, this is genuinely comical, and it represents the absolute pinnacle of toxic bro culture mentality. It simply does. This phenomenon is commonly referred to as maturation, or growing up. Witnessing individuals cling to this utterly bizarre mindset is frankly amusing. I can address this from a position of experience, as someone who has sustained numerous significant injuries. I've previously shared that my clavicle is literally fractured. It exists in 2 separate segments that simply failed to mend correctly. This is my daily physical reality. So let's be clear. There is zero deficiency in fortitude or resilience in the perspective I'm about to articulate. I have suffered multiple meniscus tears. On one occasion, the torn cartilage became lodged within the joint mechanism, preventing full leg extension and forcing me to navigate life via hopping for a fortnight prior to surgical intervention. My personal ethos was never to withdraw from competition, be it in games or practice sessions. However, to promulgate the notion that a fractured bone in one's foot constitutes an insignificant impediment is utterly delusional. It is completely irrational. Furthermore, to persistently reiterate the simplistic critique, focusing solely on his 4 turnovers, is intellectually bankrupt. 1 interception was demonstrably not his responsibility, and 1 fumble similarly originated from external factors. Cease this theatrical pretense that Josh Allen simply delivered a subpar performance. Abandon the absurd posture that a broken foot does not profoundly impair an athlete's capacity for elite execution. The stark reality that he achieved what he did throughout the postseason under that specific physical duress is nothing short of astonishing. It is absolutely extraordinary. The constant retort I encounter is, Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs supporters incessantly reference Mahomes performing effectively on a compromised ankle, culminating in a Super Bowl victory. Let's scrutinize that. In that specific contest, he attempted 27 passes for 182 yards and rushed 6 times for 44 yards. Crucially, he was not dealing with a broken bone in his foot. Let's maintain factual seriousness. Contrast that with Josh Allen's performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars while contending with a literal foot fracture. 35 pass attempts for 273 yards and a touchdown, achieving a 108.7 passer rating, complemented by 11 rushing attempts for 33 yards and 2 additional touchdowns on the ground. Or examine his showing versus the Denver Broncos, again with the same injury. 39 pass attempts for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air, plus 12 carries for 66 rushing yards. To attempt to diminish these accomplishments as anything less than phenomenal, exceptional, and superhuman is disingenuous. Yet, a contingent prefers to adopt a superficially tough stance, proclaiming, "No excuses once you're on the field. No one feels sympathy for you." That is a deliberate mischaracterization of the discourse. The conversation is not about soliciting pity. It is about acknowledging the remarkable nature of his production, given a severe, performance-limiting injury. He played with a literal broken foot. To trivialize that fact is profoundly unreasonable. This exposes a glaring, illogical asymmetry in analysis. If a player triumphs under such circumstances, we rightly laud it as incredible and impressive. However, if the ultimate result is a loss, suddenly the injury is dismissed as irrelevant. This asymmetrical application of context is senseless in the worst possible way. It defies all coherent reasoning. Consider the medical severity. The injury was sufficiently grave to necessitate surgical intervention. Actual surgery. Reports indicate a bone fragment was loose within the foot, requiring removal. The phrasing, that surgeons removed it and cleaned it up, can be ambiguous. In some procedures, like with my clavicle, a bone might be temporarily removed, debrided, cleaned, and then resecured. The precise methodology is unclear, but the fundamental facts are undeniable. He underwent legitimate surgery for a legitimate foot fracture. Therefore, his postseason performance is objectively remarkable. He emerged as the highest-rated passer in the entire playoff field. He posted a 71.6% completion rate, accrued 556 passing yards, delivered 4 touchdown throws, and maintained a 90.9 passer rating. He accomplished all these statistical feats with a broken foot. Furthermore, as previously illustrated, his rushing contributions were elite. He was the highest-rated ball carrier in the playoffs, surpassing running backs like Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Kieran Williams, and Ramondre Stevenson in efficiency metrics. He recorded the second most total rushing touchdowns among all postseason players, including every running back. He finished within the top 10 for total rushing yards, a feat magnified by participating in only 2 games, while many comparators played 3. He also led the entire NFL playoffs in rushing first downs generated, outpacing players like Drake May, who had the benefit of an additional game, and numerous featured running backs. He achieved this with a broken foot. To possess the audacity to pretend this collection of achievements is mundane or unworthy of contextual praise is frankly insane. It is a completely irrational stance, born of a desire to seem uncompromising, rather than to engage in nuanced, realistic evaluation. Those are my deliberate reflections on this subject. I am genuinely eager to receive your feedback and interpretations. What are your collective assessments regarding Josh Allen and the impact of his foot fracture? How does this medical context influence your perception of his playoff performance and his overall standing? Please share your viewpoints in the comments section below. I make a point to read every single comment submitted. Whether your perspective aligns with mine or stands in direct contradiction, I welcome the engagement. Let's delve into substantive discussions. Let's engage in spirited debate. But ultimately, let's ensure the exchange remains enjoyable. Please consider subscribing to this channel. We are in the process of constructing a fantastic community here, and I would be thoroughly delighted to have you join as a participant. The ambition is to cultivate a space where we collectively feel a sense of connection and shared enthusiasm, and significant progress is being made toward that objective. Also, please remember to like this video, as such engagement materially assists with content visibility and algorithmic distribution. Thank you sincerely for your time and attention. I look forward to our next interaction.